We found the treasure. You and I make a good team.
The treasures await you. Collect them all and return for more.
Down there, the finest clothes of the finest citizens. That's just. Hey, Sherry, this post here
but it seems there's a letter delivered recently.
After reading that, I am even less eager to return home with more. Let's investigate our manner. That's the Mycroft I know. Predictable. There she is. Our old manor. It's smaller than I remember. You were a couple of short back then, Sherry. Or maybe it's bigger on the inside.
I did not expect these to still be here. It was enjoyable to practice using real handcuffs to make an arrest. An irreplaceable tool for catching a thief. And this must be the reason our suspect was apprehended. Wood and glass, very precious.
Hey, that's Wooden Joe. He was always the best at playing criminals.
Look at the ash all over the door. I don't recall hearing of a fire.
We don't have to stay here. You can afford another night or two at the hotel.
It's stuck.
Oh well, let's just head back. They probably haven't even stripped our room yet.
Come on. Must be locked.
Move aside. Let me have a go. Seems fine to me, Sherry. This barrier, perhaps it's mental, not physical.
Or perhaps the rest of us are simply constrained by reality, John. I wonder if there's a key secreted somewhere in the garden.
Try to recall that memory about the policeman, Sherry. Concentrate. A manor all to ourselves. Can you believe it, Sherry? I have so many ideas.
The policeman brought us both home, John. That's why he was here.
I'm pretty sure he brought something else with him too. Do you remember what it was? I bet it was our reward.
No, we were not so lucky. It was a set of lockpicks that we had used to sneak into someone's house. That's why we were arrested.
Did someone come out to investigate all the commotion?
It was Mycroft. He smoothed things over and convinced the policeman not to press charges. The officer left and never returned. But we had to endure a serious talking to from my brother. Mycroft wasn't happy about the fact that we were arrested. It felt like he lectured us for hours.
Did we give him something afterwards, Sherry?
Oh, yes. Yes, now I remember. It was a letter. That's why we snuck into the house. Mycroft asked us to. He wasn't angry we stole, but that we got caught.
Oh, that's right. It must have been only a couple of months after we moved to Cordona. Ugh, the good old days. Whoa.
How very odd. It appears that memory stood between me and the manor. It's as if my mind palace had seeped into the real world. This deserves further investigation. Perhaps there's more to discover inside.
As long as there is a comfortable place to put my feet up, I'll be happy. Maybe a chaise longue.
Aha! In we go.
Home sweet home, Sherry.
Hey, this is the luggage we brought from London, isn't it? I remember how angry Mycroft was about these marks. He called it a frivolous, childish endeavour. One of the first things I saw when entering this house as a child. It's like déjà vu. Mycroft's umbrella, the only outgoing thing in his wardrobe. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
And I was wondering why it's so empty in here.
There may be a small chance that some of our property could be found among local traders' wares. It is worth a look, wouldn't you say?
Another memory incoming, Sherry. Agreed.
Strange. I struggle to
It's
recall
rather
anything about
suspicious.
the day we moved in. The only detail I'm sure of is that it was raining early that morning. Our mother brought a slew of belongings with her. She refused to leave a single thing in London. Mycroft had to spend the whole day dealing. There was always a hat on our stand, but I'm sure it did not belong to Mycroft. This trip was a challenge for our mother. I tried to help her.
Do you feel it? Is it the air shimmering, or is it my imagination?
Your neighbors will be told that Mrs. Holmes is suffering from tuberculosis. It is common to move closer to the sea in such cases.
Thank you, Dr. Richter. No, Sherlock, step away from her. Upstairs, go to your room.
Lean on me, Mother. Take your time.
Actually, I never heard her coughing. I remember now.
Oh, I feel dizzy. It's stuffy in here, isn't it?
John, are you all right?
I'll be okay in a minute. How about we find our room in the meantime?
Look at this. It's like travelling 10 years into the past with a single step. Oddly satisfying. Sharp and well balanced. It would be a pity to leave such a tool behind. Need to repeat this one day, but with bullets. Oh, these must be the notes of my earliest observations. We wanted to locate a particular dog we'd spotted, and we met it, didn't we? I'll never forget how challenging it was to obtain this simple sketch.
This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine now. Coal dust from Miner's End, sandy dirt from the old city. We scoured the island top to bottom for these soil samples.
Cannot believe all my toys are still here.
Hey, they were not just yours, they were half mine too.
An artifact from Palau carved out of bone and claimed to be 300 years old. My mother proved it was a fake. My very favourite plaything. It was the perfect pirate treasure. The first chemical laboratory I ever made. I almost miss its elegant simplicity. Look at this, John. Remember how desperately I wanted to learn the violin? I never had a proper opportunity.
Such a shame. I always hated the rule about being silent in this place.
Interesting. What's that over there? This doorknob has a cross-shaped end. Too intricate to be merely a handle.
You know what? That definitely looks like a key. Let's poke around and see if we can find any secrets.
The only fiction book on my table. I can still hear my mother reading it to me. So many pleasant evenings were spent here with the Encyclopedia Americana. A magnificent tool made for a spurious purpose, staring into the sky. I've definitely found a better use for it.
You mean for spying on people? Oh, it reminds me of our neighbour. He had the same balloon in his yard, only bigger. Do you remember?
Yes, we visited him several times while living here.
This time I was first to pick beds. This one's mine. Now.
Perfect match. My small archive of crime clippings. Maybe I should pick up this habit again. Made of cherry wood, Father's favourite. Still has a faint odour of tobacco, one of the few things on this island that smell like home.
I knew you'd find it in no time. Wasn't that neighbour missing a finger?
That does sound vaguely familiar. Wasn't his name, Theodore? Theodore Gilden, perhaps?
It's the perfect time to investigate. I heard footsteps upstairs a second ago. Wait, do we have an attic here?
You'll never find such magnificent garden statues, swings, and my goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase. My goods will brighten up your house. Enjoy your purchase. You'll never find such magnificent paintings any...
The garden's much prettier, don't you think? I bet the memories are all flooding back now.
The best place for reading. Why does this barn give me such an unpleasant feeling?
Oh, I know. It's because Mycroft used an axe to shoo you out of here. It scarred you for life, but I enjoyed it.
My mother liked the story of David and Goliath. She said it doesn't matter how small you are, you can always overcome any obstacle.
Hey, is anybody at home? Hello?
Ah yes, we were sword fighting in this very spot.
And that time I was the winner.
So, as your victory prize, you asked me to fulfill a wish. I remember we did something the very next night, John, but what was it? We brought a cage with us. You insisted it must be made of iron.
That's because we were preparing to hunt fairies in our garden. Everyone knows iron is the only thing that can hold them.
And I was distinctly uncomfortable.
It was a disguise, of course. Fairies are easy to scare off, unless you're incognito.
And every trap needs bait. We brought honey and a glass of warm milk.
After 2 hours lying in wait, we noticed movement in the bushes. The fairies appeared at last.
No, it was just Isolde the pig. She was lured by the smell of honey and milk, and ate every last drop. Isolde belonged to Mr. Sim in Miner's End and escaped regularly. At least twice a month we would see him searching for her all over the island. This portrait was painted some time before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains. This portrait was painted some time before my father's death. I would guess it's the only depiction of him that remains. Another one. There must be something important behind it. I can feel it.